I've recently gained some menopausal weight, another one. Since I've always been very skinny, this is a challenge for me because I now have lost my style and do not know how to dress anymore. And look, this is really common. And I do think this kind of midlife, weight gain, it's really, really normal and it's really, really common. And when you've suddenly got a body that is very different from what you've been dressing all your life, it takes a long time to learn how to dress this new body of yours. I mean, I know even just from changing my hair colour, it takes me, over a year not to be surprised every time I've seen myself with a different hair colour from the one I was expecting in the mirror, let alone having a different body. So be gentle on yourself. Really be gentle. You've had something for a long time. It's changed. So now it's looking at what works for you. So the first thing you want to do is understand what is your body now and what suits that new body. What's in harmony with the body you have today? And stop going back to thinking about what used to work. So, your old kind of faithfuls, and this is where you've been getting dressed on habit for a long time. And habit is great. It's a neural pathway that's ingrained in. So you really don't have to use your, precious brain energy to think about it every day. Now what's happened is because your body's changed and you can't rely on those habits, it's using some of that brain power and it's feeling really quite stressful. So what we need to do is start to get to learn about what works for you now rather than what used to work for you. So it's finding out what your body shape is now and what suits it now. And you'll find, that even body proportions can change a little bit, particularly through the waist and where the bust is, depending, because this is where things can get a bit higher and lower depending on what has been going on with weight as well. So you might want to look at those and also body variations as well. So all these different aspects of your body are influencing what clothes styles are in harmony with your body and what features and details you want to put on. So remember with body shape, what it tells you is where to put the overall silhouette and where to put the detail, where to put the horizontal lines and where to put the vertical lines. So if we think about if I've lost my waist, I don't want to put detail around my waist. I no longer want the belts, or I no longer want the garments to have some sort of defining details around the waist. Instead, I'll want things to be a bit more bland through the waist, but I'll look for vertical lines because vertical lines are elongating and slimming, so they're going to make it look smaller. So this is where thinking about things like that. Where do I want to draw attention? So I want to create focal points in my outfit. So I want to draw attention up to my face. So I might use jewelry, things like that, scarves, patterns, details up close to my face, something in my portrait area to draw attention up there. There's all these things. So the thing is, I would say first is to understand what works with your body today. So, and don't feel bad about your body and don't be hating on your body. Because the thing is, treat it, gently and carefully. It's what's keeping you alive. So love it as it is today and then find what actually is in harmony with it and what enhances it today. So this is where getting that piece of style education is really important. So I've got a body shape calculator quiz. You can get your body shape Bible. That's just one part of that body equation, but it's a good starting point. And of course, if you want to dive more deeply into that, then that's what my 7 Steps to Style program is all about. And then what you'll want to think about is, who am I now? How do I want to be perceived? Because this is a lot to do with style, that we're not static beings. We change over time. And so it's really thinking about, well, who am I now and how do I want to be perceived and how do I want to express my personality and where am I going now? So this is a great opportunity to assess is what you are wearing, even just the kinds, the styles, the shapes, the colours, the prints, the patterns, the details, are they still you? Or is there a new version of you coming on? So that's something where looking at those personality elements too is really important to know, well, what do I want to be putting out there now? So if I have to replace a whole lot of wardrobe, then, let's do it in the smartest way possible. So we're not wasting money on clothes we don't wear, real hit and miss approach, which is what most people end up doing. So it's thinking about, well, what is my style recipe? So don't buy anything just because it fits on the new body of yours. If it's not you, don't buy it. And this is one of the things I often see quite commonly where women get a colour analysis and then they'll buy anything that's in their colour swatch, even if they don't really like the style or the shape or the colour or the fabric, because they're just excited to have found something in their colours. So just because something's in your colours doesn't mean you should buy it unless it fits your other criteria. And this is why I call it the style puzzle. There's a whole lot of pieces we have to stack together to actually kind of fulfill our own style puzzle and that's when we buy something when it actually fills our criteria, rather than being if it fills one but it doesn't work on any other aspect. And this is why there is a bit of a journey to style. It takes a while to understand it. It does take some experimentation, but it also takes that style education that I think is so important, and it's what I am here to give you, and hopefully why you are listening. So hopefully that gives you a few tips to start thinking about with regards to reassessing your style and, with your changing shape.